Hello, and thank you for tuning in again. I hope you enjoyed the sound session, the sound healing. I created it as a means to help with the energy transfer that you are about to receive upon listening to my session today. Now, this part is my personal part that we edited to um, make sure that the most personal of information was taken out. Irina did a phenomenal job on doing so. And the reason why I am sharing this portion with you, with all of you, is because there is a lot of really interesting, cool, and good knowledge that we need in today's fast changing world as we traverse the shift and are on the front lines of this human evolution. Not only do I find out that I am the Lady of the Lake, which I actually did not find out until after my session that that's who I was, but I also discover a society, a thriving society that lives in the middle of the earth. I had connected with this society before through a meditation, actually just a couple of weeks ago. So to have it come up again in more vivid detail was really a profound experience. And I hope that you will find this information to be helpful as well. If you want more background on my story, then I suggest you go listen to my introduction on my video that I posted on YouTube. I can share a link in the description or along with this video should you be interested in knowing more of kind of the background behind why I did this session. This session was created as an experiment in consciousness to explore the frontier of consciousness. And upon doing so, my practitioner, Irina, and I decided to answer questions for the collective as well as a way to access that information while under trance and bring back information that could be beneficial for this time. Of course, as I have said before, reality is relative. So everything expressed and given in this session may not resonate with everybody, and that is okay. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. But thank you for taking time to listen to my session today. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I will gladly answer any questions you may have. I definitely welcome feedback because we will be doing more of these in the near future. And so, please enjoy this session. Make sure you are in a comfortable place where you can listen, you can integrate, and you can take time, an hour or two after, to fully integrate this information afterwards as well, because it is quite powerful. Maybe you can meditate a little beforehand, maybe during the sound healing I offer, and make sure you breathe. I will do a little sound healing at the end as well to help close it out. And kind of give you that little extra clearing of space. Light sage, get somewhere comfortable and enjoy.
When you reach the top of the hill, just tell me what you see.
I see him.
Tell me more about what you see.
Trees, lots of trees.
Describe them to me.
It's like looking over the top of a forest. See a castle in the distance. The sky is kind of white-ish, like slightly overcast.
How do you feel in this place?
I feel like peace. I feel happy because I'm with the trees.
The more you look around, the more you can notice things and you can describe more to me.
The path is a bit... It's like a golden kind of path. Golden like bricks. And the castle is over there to the left. It's composed of dark gray stones. It's cylindrical, like a tower, like a gray stone tower with the top. The top is pointed. Comes to a point, like an obelisk with a detachable kind of roof, but it's attached. It's the best way to describe it, what it looks like. I think the top is actually made of a dark wood. I can see the door to the entrance.
Tell me more about the door.
It's made of a heavy wood, It's got a circular door handle knocker. You grab it to open it. It's like it's heavy. When you let it go, it clanks against the door. It's like it's made of an iron or something. Slightly rusted.
What you wanna do?
I want to go inside.
Okay. Tell me what's gonna happen when you go inside.
I hear things about Merlin. There's the round table. We're in England. There's people sitting around the table having a discussion. They're wearing armor. I've been noticed.
How it made you feel?
I feel comfortable here. Like it's one of our meetings. An annual or nightly, or it's a meeting that occurs often where we discuss the going on of events. The head of the table is a man with a long white beard, long white hair. He's wearing he's actually wearing a robe.
Who is he?
I think he might actually be Merlin. Yes, he's telling me to come and sit down. There's much to discuss.
Tell me what happens next.
Go and sit at the chair, a wooden chair. This table it's like it's a mixture of stone, this smooth but bumpy stone, and wood. It's made of both stone and wood, the table. It's actually more oval than round.
How does it feel to sit there?
Like something important is going to be discussed, and I'm excited to see the latest developments. Alchemy. It's about alchemy and magic.
Tell me more about what's discussed there.
You're discussing the latest discoveries, what was created, what was used, the different formulas, the different what's the word? Spagyric, the different tinctures and herbals, steeped herbal concoctions. They're in the background. There's shelves filled with all kinds of like flasks and beakers and jars of different colored liquids. Smoke is from burning herbs. There's a small window too. It's actually kind of dark in here. It's mostly lit with by candles. This meeting is a secret. That's why it's so far out in the woods. It's like a meeting of secret society in a way, because the common folk, they do not understand these kind of explorations and experiments.
What is the purpose of them?
To discover the secrets of life and the universe, to explore consciousness, to understand our souls, our bodies, why we're here, where we came from, and how we can better heal ourselves and others through the use of magic and medicine of the plants and energy. Yes, Jeffrey's there too. He's Lancelot. And I think me and Merlin are very close. We share a friendship outside of this, outside of the meetings and outside of the experiments. We often ponder life together. We often go for walks amongst the countryside. He has a great staff. And his robe, I always love the way it looks when it blows in the wind. And he stands upon the hill, and when we go for our walks, it makes him look, it helps embody all that he is, the way he looks, if that makes sense. It gives him an air of greatness. But he's humbled. He's not a self-centered man. He's for the people. He does great things.
And how it makes you feel being beside him?
I feel so much love for him.
I want you to breathe into that feeling. Send it through all your body. Really feel that in your body now. And as you do this, what else you notice?
Just my love for him is deep. It's great. He has completely changed my life and how, in my world, he's introduced me to the most amazing aspects of life that I have ever known. I think I might be a woman. I might be in love with him.
Tell me more. Look at your feet. What they look like.
They have on black shoes. They're soft shoes. I see a skirt, long. It reaches down to my ankles.
What color is it?
It's gray. There's a frock as well. It's green It's like an apron.
How does it feel on the skin? Can you feel the material?
It's soft. Though the undergarment underneath is slightly scratchy, but it doesn't bother me too much because I enjoy the way it makes the skirt fluff out.
Look up to your body. Anything else you're noticing?
Yes. The frock is tied around my waist. It's the top is it's slightly low cut, not too much. It has to be tasteful. It's in the sleeves. They slightly hang off the shoulder just a little bit. You see the collarbone, and the sleeves themselves, they come down to my wrist and are tight around the wrist. It's like they're white in color. The sleeves themselves, there's some trim, a trim, and it's like it's kind of a dark kind of blue around the trim on the dress, on the top, with white sleeves.
What color is your skin?
It's olive, like slightly tan, olive.
What about your hair?
It's black and very long. It flows in the wind too.
How do you feel in this body?
I feel healthy and alive and excited and strong, free, sovereign.
I want you to breathe into all those feelings. Really send them through all your body. Feeling all those feelings, being strong, healthy, full of energy. Anything else you notice?
Eyes are blue. I feel like why I feel so free and sovereign and is me because I broke away from my family. They were constricting and very religious. They didn't give me much freedom to be myself, to explore the musings in my heart, to follow what I felt to be true. They thought it was all in my head, my imagination, me just being a little girl with too big of an imagination. And I was out in the woods at a time, exploring these feelings, these musings in my heart, playing with, well, at the time I thought I was playing with the rocks, the stones, the plants, the stream and the water, speaking words coming from my heart, connecting with all that was alive in the woods. And that's when I met him. He was strolling along the river, or the stream. It is a river, a smaller one. It's clear water. And he came upon me and he watched me for a bit because he could sense there was something. And then he approached me, something I did that made him decide to approach me, and that's how we met. He was the first person to ever fully believe in me, who I was, and saw me for who I was. And it was beautiful. It felt so like just being seen. It felt freeing. I felt heard. I felt seen. I felt recognized on a soul level.
And take another deep breath in, breathe into all those feelings. Send them through all your body. Feel into each of them. Notice how it makes you feel.
Happy. I'm hugging him. He has the best hugs.
Very good.
Mm.
Just enjoy that moment. Sink into it. Really experience every bit of it.
Yeah. It's nighttime and we're all together. It's Merlin and Knights of the Round Table, and there's I think we're having a celebration of sorts. Everyone's drinking the ale from the mugs, wooden mugs, and laughing and singing their songs, playing the music. There's a lute. One of them is playing, one of the knights is playing, another one is kind of drumming on the table. They're tapping their feet and being loud, and it seems that I think Lancelot, he's a little jealous. Because he's taken a liking, he's taken a liking to me, but I'm spending more time with Merlin. It's because I'm speaking with him. He's fun. We're laughing and just have such a strong connection with him because he helped me find who I was. So, yeah, Lancelot's kind of brooding in the corner. He's not as cheerful as the rest.
What else you notice in
It's a cool night.
Mm.
I'm looking out the little window we have. It's just one little window. Looking at the stars and feeling content, feeling at peace, and happy that I've found where I belong. The stone, it's cool against my skin in the cool night and the wind on my face.
That's beautiful. I want you to stand there for some time and really observe and feel into all those feelings. And just tell me if you notice anything else as you do that.
Merlin, he's come up and he's put his arm around my waist, and I just lay my head on his shoulder. And yeah, he's an older man, but that's, to me, it does not matter. Age does not matter when the soul knows what it knows, and what the heart knows, and the heart wants what it wants.
What happens?
We're just looking at the sky together and us being in each other's presence. He kisses me on my forehead. And just feel happy and peace. And I do feel the energy, because at this point, I have learned how to really master my intuition, to listen to it, to understand it. We've done so many forms of magic. This helped me to fully embody I keep hearing sense of self. It's not sense of self, it's a different word. It's sort of like ether, but the ether within us, the ether without us. I've learned how to feel into it and connect to the silver strings that attach us to all that is. And so I can feel, like I said, the energy from Lancelot, his sort of anger, his jealousy. He feels that's not who I should be with. That man's too old. He's young, he's virile, he's strong, he's a knight. If anything, I should be with him. So and I'm trying not to let that affect. I'm putting up my protection to keep his energy from infiltrating my ethers.
What happens next?
I think he leaves.
How it makes you feel?
I feel relieved, because it was heavy. I was having to keep that wall up. It's something I had to do already with my family. growing up. So when I'm faced with that kind of situation, now it can sometimes be a little bit exhausting to have to keep that wall up, to keep myself protected when all I want to be is just vulnerable and able to not have to be in such a defensive state, especially in moments of bliss and moments where I'm trying to enjoy myself, or I am enjoying myself. It just makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. But I try to just push it to the back of my mind because there's so much more beauty about life than what someone's feeling, someone's perceives to be as bad. There's so much more beauty than somebody's point of view of angry point of view. It's hard to put into the words.
Very good. Just make sure you're telling me everything about this scene that you see or experience, feel. Everything that's important about it.
There is King Arthur's there too. He's this blonde kid. He's wearing red. He's actually a really happy guy. He's very loving and loyal. He makes me think of what a lion would be like if a lion was a person. Had this mane of golden hair and his confidence. He's a very loving, accepting person. He's very diplomatic. He always listens to all in fair ways to see both sides of every story. There is a gold lion embossed upon the red garments that he is wearing. It's like there's also gold around the edges of the garments as well. It's like I want to say kind of like a frock, but that's not the word. Just red garments. They're like velvety, like kind of that velvet shine, and well dressed. It speaks of status. He's got black riding boots, a sword worn on his waist, in the brown holster around his waist, and he's toasting to and cheering, and we're having a good time, and we're speaking of alchemy and the magic and of bringing people together and the thriving civilization that has been created on this hill in this beautiful place. This hill, I think there's a water that surrounds it as well, kind of like a moat. Lots of trees and greenery. It's such an amazing place. You could see the sun set and rise. And on the days of equinox, the moon and the sun, when there's a full moon that occurs on the times, they will be directly across from one another. Oh, the sun is setting and the moon is rising. We're in the perfect place where we can see both. It's always a great high time for harnessing the energies of the universe and further exploration of consciousness and energies, and working with our magic. And I think this might be one of those times. That's why we're celebrating, because not only has there been a great victory, but the moon and the sun are in perfect position to help really anchor in these energies, and amplify, in hopes that they'll amplify this joy, this peace, this love, this balance, this diplomacy throughout the realms, so as to hopefully reach all the other kingdoms and change people's hearts and help them to see that there does not have to be war or suppression of the people, and that all people, great and small, shall be treated with equality. That was the energy we were trying to send out at this time, and it felt successful because we saw it within our own realm, the peace and the prosperity and the happiness. And so we're celebrating that, because we also know that in celebrating it, we bring it to light. We manifest and help it to ripple out and echo out into the lands around us. So the celebration is sort of a expansion, a activation of to help spread these energies out across the realms. It's the best way I can explain it.
Very good. Is there anything else about this scene you notice or need to tell me about? Or would you want to go somewhere else?
I just see I can see the silver strings that attach me. That's what keeps standing out the most, is that I can see these strings. They're all over my body, the ones in the ethers, and all over everyone else, and I can just see how they connect us all and vibrate and spread out across the world and across the universe, and connecting us to various stars and planets and the things within the earth, the center, the civilization there. I think we're aware of them.
Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, it's a thriving civilization. They've been there for quite some time themselves. In fact, some of the people who is a part of this realm have come from the center of the earth, because they came to help further our research into the alchemy and the magic. There is a sun-like device, something that creates a sunlight of sorts in the center of the earth. It is it brings light to the people down there. There is man. I keep hearing the word telos. Telos. It's says it's the name of a place or a person. But this city, it's thriving and it's beautiful. There's waterfalls. The I see a man waving at me. He's got blonde hair too. He wears a white robe. He's smiling. His heart energy is very warm. He said, "Welcome. We've been waiting for you."
Mm.
Uh,
Can you connect to him and ask him more? What they waiting for?
yes, they. Telos and Adama. Uh, he's excited I'm here. He said, that's why he reached out to me. My soul has been one that has been connected to their civilization for a long time, since the time of King Arthur and Merlin. And it was my connection with Merlin that really helped me to establish an even deeper connection with those at the center of the earth that has carried through the lifetimes. That's why I've always sensed for so long that there was something underneath the ground that I always thought maybe were tunnels or secret hives, but it wasn't. It was actually an active, beautiful, thriving civilization at the center of the earth. And they have this device which is like the sun. It creates sunlight, and they're and right in the center of it, and it's hollowed out place, like I said, with the waterfalls. There's plant life, there's trees, their buildings, their homes and their shops, and are built into the actual walls of this gray like stone or limestone. That's all of it's carved out. Their homes and their structures, their shops are all carved into these walls, and there's this great central um it's just like a big circle's the best way to explain it. It's like they keep anything from being built so that they can walk easily amongst it, so that the sun it that sun energy has um, plenty of room to shine, so that the trees can grow there, and that are there. And um, it's just meant to be that way because it helps with the energetics of the place. It helps keep a very strong and sturdy energy that has kept them protected for millennia. It sustains the energy there, having it in this shape, this circular like shape. And he's showing me the people there, the children there, and how that they live in a sense of freedom. They contain all of the history of the earth and all of the civilizations that have risen and fallen. And of course, for every fall of every civilization, great civilizations there have been, they've had people migrate from each time down there, thus creating a sort of melting pot of civilizations, of society, of people, many different species, many different people, mostly human like, but other species as well. There are gray beings, there are reptilian like creatures, but they are not of evil, they're not of bad, they're not negative, they're not of the dark. They are simply beings such as humans, neither light nor dark, just a species. There's no judgment, no polarity.
How do they migrate there?
How do they migrate there?
Migrate, yeah.
Tunnels. The tunnels from the pyramids. The tunnels from... There's one in Sedona. There's several in the Grand Canyon. Where there's red deserts and big rocks. Some in mountains. Mount Shasta has many. There's also portals that can be opened. There are those aware of these portals, especially in the Mount Shasta areas, the Sedona areas. These are at the vortexes in the Earth's grid where these portals can easily be opened, oftentimes just simply using one's energy fields, their hearts, and their understanding of how we're connected through these silver strands. Because these silver strands connect us to all that is. They connect us to the energies of the universe and of space, of the planets. Sometimes just certain alignments of certain planets will allow, a certain alignment of celestial bodies will allow these portals to be easily opened, especially when they line up with the vortexes on the Earth. It's becoming easier at this time, and the evolution of our modern day society now, because as humans are upgrading and awakening, the DNA strands that are activating are allowing them to create these portals at will, or find them more easily, where they do not have to await for certain alignments. It's becoming easier for us to just access it at any time, because we're beginning to understand that time is not linear, that anything that we ever need to do or access is always available to us at any time in the quantum field. It's just a matter of changing our vibration, our vibrational fields, to match that of the vibration of the portals, in order to access them and open them. So it's becoming easier. And this excites the people, especially Adama Telos. I keep getting a little confused in the name, but I keep hearing Telos and Adama. He's excited about it, and so is all of the civilization down there, because it means that we're getting closer to getting to know one another, where they will be able to finally be safe to emerge and finally meet us. They're just waiting for the right time, because if they do it too early, then they risk the repercussions of how humans, the surface dwellers, still have that dualistic like thinking or war like mentality, or wanting to take over that which they find beautiful. But we are very close to finally coming over to the other side, when we no longer think in such ways and we only want to learn and to be open to knowledge and learn from one another. Because in combining that knowledge, we become more awakened, more enlightened, more powerful in the sharing of knowledge and in equality.
So how is all gonna happen? Is there anything that humanity need to know about all this right now at this moment?
Just stop fighting and all that anger and hatred. While anger has its place, while anger can be a motivational force in certain aspects, many people are allowing it to overcome all senses. They're getting so focused on the dualistic nature that they have been taught, the polarized nature they have been taught, that they are just continuing to separate themselves and getting angry at others for simply being what they perceive to be different. They're too focused on the differences. And once people stop focusing so much on what they perceive to separate us, then we can begin to come together, become non-polarized, become non-dualistic. Stop judging. Stop judging one another. Stop judging the good. Stop judging the bad. There is no good. There is no bad. It simply is. It is the balance of the universe, such as there cannot be balance without chaos. The ancient Egyptians understood this. Many ancient civilizations did. It's a knowledge that was forgotten through manipulation of how people view things. But what we can do as a human species is to stop judging, to stop polarizing, to stop fighting, to stop being so angry, to stop allowing these media outlets to control our minds. It's simply just stepping away from that and going within and stop judging. And then everything else will naturally begin to fall into place.
So is it possible to meet this civilization in this lifetime for people?
It depends. We have already met with some.
What that look like?
There are people who are aware of us. We have already met through these portals, through Mount Sashta, and in other places around the world, more remote locations. Some of those who go missing in the national parks are simply those who we connected with, brought to our civilization. They did not want to leave because they enjoyed the synchronistic equality, the love, the way that we operate, and the truth of being. without the separation. And they did not want to leave, they wanted to stay. Those who've gone missing in the national parks, the ones who go missing.
Before we move on, is there anything else that humanity right now needs to know from that civilization, since you connected right now?
We bring peace and an offering of togetherness. Because when we come together, that's when we create great change. And when we come together, then we can share the knowledge of the true existence of humanity, which will help heal all. All will be healed with the sharing of this knowledge. It is coming out in ways such as now, through the channels, through the quantum healings. It's coming out bit by bit. But once we do meet fully, face to face, then all can be revealed and it will heal all. And there will be 1,000 years of peace on the earth.
When it's gonna happen?
It can happen soon. It simply depends on you as a species.
Thank you very much for all that information. Is there anything else we need to know?
Just keep exploring in this way. Keep bathing in the frequencies of love of the sun. Know that she is sending the codes needed to help bring us into harmony with the vibration of the universe. Use these frequencies, the solfeggio frequencies, which help to align us with this information that is available to all. And as long as you continue to do that and continue to immerse yourself within, it will echo out as a fractal, as the fractals of universal fractals do, and it will affect all around you, and then that will echo out and affect all around those who have been touched by these fractals, and so on. It will surround the globe. Just keep doing the spiritual work, focusing on the love and focusing on keeping yourself in higher frequencies through the use of these frequential tools. That is why the information of the harmonic convergence is coming forth, it coming full circle, the knowledge from it, why it was contained in those who were born at that time. Because as they awaken, those frequencies of the harmonic convergence are activating and helping to not only connect portions of the grid, but also to heal it. And upon healing it, it helps reconstruct those portions that had been destroyed. Upon the reconstruction of those portions, it connects to those people in those areas and helps to reawaken them It helps to reactivate them, and it continues to echo out as the fractals, the universal fractals, creating the harmonic convergence once again here on this planet.
Thank you very much for all this information. Now let's drift away from that place, from that life we were looking at. You're drifting and floating away from that life, leaving that woman and to continue on her own journey. Just feel yourself floating away. You can connect to your higher self, your teachers, guides.
I can feel them all around. You show me these golden symbols of light. I'm putting it in my third eye area for expansion and awareness. Sometimes your view can get narrowed a bit from home environment because it instills that doubt. She keeps putting it aside, the doubt, and then it can sometimes creep back in through the constant need to put up her walls. She's been doing good working on not keeping herself in a constant walled state, but it can be difficult to manage sometimes.
How this will help her?
This golden light,
Yeah.
just fortifying the protection she already has around her and giving her a better ability to keep her from blocking herself up, to keep her from instilling unconscious blocks, because they do not serve. If she is to be an open channel, she is. This is what her destiny is, to be. A clear channel for the information that comes through the Earth's atmosphere. The Akashic records that reside within the Earth's atmosphere.
She had a question. What can she do to fully align with her channeling abilities? How can she utilize this ability in her life to help serve others and spread light?
The symbols, the golden symbols we're putting in, are helping to clear right now. But she also needs to remain confident in her abilities, because she is aligned with the right people right now. The right workers, the right light workers. As long as she stays confident in her abilities, everything will flow as it's meant to, and she will bring forth the information that we bring through her that is needed at this time in the evolution and humanity. She brings through the energy that's needed, just as when she spoke to the man who channels Abraham recently. While he was channeling, he told her to just step aside and let us do our job.
How she can be a confidant? Can you give her an advice?
Stay within the good support system she has found. Well, they were always there, and she was always going to meet. They were all to meet again because they all have been together for a very, very long time. They have just re-met, but she just must stay within that support structure. Because as long as she receives this support, she will remain confident. Because their support also is the light. It gives the light that's needed to keep her channel open. She has to also find it within herself to stay strong even when that support system may not be around, but the support system that she has found is here to stay. She will be with these people for the rest of her life. They have connected because they are to work together, all of them.
Do you have more information on with whom she needs to continue to work, like her friend Helios?
Yes. He is Merlin.
Oh.
That's why they feel so drawn, though, in this. He came back differently in this carnation. But, so, there will not be that same romantic relationship because of his life path he has chosen for this incarnation. But that love is still there, that strong love. And she must work with him. They're meant to go to Egypt together. And Reuben, he is her work partner she spoke of before. The first time we spoke. He is her work partner. They work on the scientific aspects together of the rapidly evolving and changing nature of reality. They are to work together for the finding of the skulls, this extra crystal skull. It is in the Sphinx, just like she knew. It's in the Sphinx under his left paw. There's a tunnel. It will lead to, as she knew, the sound chambers of, she likes to call him Thoth, but others call him Tot. It is through the use of our voice, our singing, the opening of our hearts, and the coming together of the right energies that will unlock this information. It is, we are now at the right state of consciousness to unlock the secrets of the Sphinx. Because Tote, he stored the information within the walls of this chamber. The same stone that was used to construct the Sphinx, because it contains the makeup to hold information because of its crystalline structure. There is a tool to be found down there that will change technology for humanity as well. It's the same technology that was used for him, that Tote used to transcribe his knowledge onto the emerald tablets and into the walls of the Sphinx and into the sound chambers. He would sing into this device. He would place it near his heart fields, and he would sing into it while squeezing the lever on the side of this device, and it would transcribe this information into the tablets, and it would also transcribe also into the walls as well. And now that we are at that perfect precipice of consciousness, that vibration, we can now access it. We have evolved enough in this form. Humanity, the awakened, have evolved enough to access this information.
Is there any more information she needs to know about their work together, or this work in Egypt?
They must go there.
When is they supposed to go there?
It will be discussed, but soon. Soon, so that it can be discovered before it gets to the wrong hands. It's not wrong, but people with other agendas that do not serve humanity in light.
Is she Venetian hybrid?
Yes.
Can you tell her more about that?
We came when I've come to her recently during her meditations, and I keep getting stronger. She has drawn a photo of me. The name at this time is not important. She wanted to know. But we are coming at this time to remind her of her heritage. We came to her mother during the time of conception and stayed throughout the pregnancy to instill the upgrades, the extra DNA needed, and the energetics needed to bring through the connection to our civilizations, to our society. We are what are known as the Nephilim. That is the true reason why she feels the wings upon her back. It just was not time for her to know that information just yet. She had to process what information was given. This is why we said her body was the perfect vessel in which to channel this energy, because her body has the genetic makeup of our species. We had to hide for a very long time to survive persecution. We were seen as demons, devils, unholy, because we did not look human. Because we could fly. Because we could use and manipulate energies in ways that humans thought were magic, but it simply was an understanding of the universal forces at work. We also have a great love for humanity. And even though we were villainized, we still loved the humans as they were. This is part of the reason why we began to mate with the humans. Not only as what she was told, the survival of our species, but also because we saw great potential for the combining of our genetics. Then we came in once more, stronger, when the uptick of extraterrestrial contact was happening in the 40s and the 50s. That was us coming in. We were one of the many to give upgrades to the humans at that time, and we stayed with those families. We would show ourselves in multiple ways to the children so as to help them remember genetically who they were, even if they could not remember consciously. It activated the energies needed for remembrance to stay within the cells, so that as we worked on each generation, each child that was to be born, each succession, that memory would become stronger and stronger and stronger until it reached this point for the star seeds now that have come in to embody these hybrids. Because we knew once the awakening began, they had to have the energy fields, just as we told her, to contain the information that was to come through upon the awakening and the activation of the DNA strands, all 12 of them, through plasma.
So are those of us who are star seeds, they Nephilim hybrids?
Yes, the majority. Not all, the majority. Because should a normal, well, we'll use the term normal, human had been given this energetic upgrade, they would have gone insane. That is why there are some cases of schizophrenia, for instance, because for a human of normal genetic makeup to tap in to all gifts at one time, it overloads the senses and they cannot make sense of their reality, thus driving them into insanity. And then the view of society on mental health does not help these individuals. If they simply were to able to access a shaman from Native American cultures, or shamans from deep within the forest, had access to these shamans, they could have helped them to integrate these energies more easily, so as they would not have gone insane.
Are we the 144,000?
Yes. Yes, because 144,000 have come. We have all made all those souls, star seeds, the hybrids, awakening, because it is time for that shift. The shift being the evolution of humanity's consciousness. The shift because of the separating of the 3D from the 5D Earth, the two planets. We're beginning to make that transition, and in that transition there is chaos. There is chaos. What appears to be chaos, but just as I said before, the ancient Egyptians understood this. There's always chaos before balance. There has to be chaos for there to be balance. Just like with healing, the dark must come up. The unhealed aspects must come up so that they can be healed and balance restored.
How can we navigate in this chaos?
Just stay centered in your hearts to remember that even if it looks to be a terrifying or fearful situation on the world stage, that it has to happen for it to be healed. Just like with individual healing, you have to get through the trauma. You have to recognize the trauma. You have to see why it was created in the first place so that it can be fully healed and fully integrated for balance to be restored. So remember, when you see that which appears fearful, that which appears dark, it's just a part of the process. This is where the non-judgment can really help us navigate. Help you navigate the ever-changing landscape. To not be judgmental, to not polarize, to not see things as good or bad, light or dark. It is just the process to restore balance, to bring wholeness, to be healed, so that we can enter into the 1,000 years of peace and beyond, so we can integrate into the galactic society, become galactic citizens. This is what they wait for. This is what Middle Earth waits for. Telos, that's the name of the city, Telos. Middle Earth.
How can we protect families and loved ones during these times?
They all have a role. As long as we, those of us who are aware of our origins and of what we are experiencing and seeing, as long as we hold our space and keep ourselves within the protection of white light and keep it strong and practice it every day or every few days, re-strengthening it. Those within our fields, those strongly connected to us, will remain safe with us. But we must remember that those who do seem to be harmed or hurt, that it was just a part of the process. That's why they came here. They knew in their soul that it was meant to be this way. So do not, as hard as it's okay to grieve. Grief is a good process. Grief is a process that always leads to a good path of healing, so as long as you do not become entrenched in it. So yes, if there are any losses of those that you know, yes, grieve that. But do remember that it is a part of the transition, because as the two earths separate, there will be there will be deaths.
Um, why is Helena Blavatsky? Did she come back to this specific timeline?
Just as I told her. To continue the adventure. It was fun. Also, she must relax. Also, further exploring the Sphinx. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun going on adventures. Me and Helios must go. And Ruben, Trish. We were all together in that lifetime. We've come back at this time to not only continue the adventure, because it did end too early. I died too young. My health failed before I died. A couple years before ending my adventure. So I wanted to come back. This time, not only beautifully brown, but I wanted to start off differently. Not rich and taken care of and pampered. I did not like it. I wanted to have to work for my spot in society this time. I felt I'd find more freedom that way. And now, now that we have finally reached the point in our soul contract for all of this to come together in the way that it has, it's just time to go out and explore more. Get together the old team.
Do you have any specific information for this team or for my client today? You want her to know?
Just keep up with that community. Keep telling them your insights. Just keep being yourself. Keep being yourself. More of the information will reveal itself. More of it is coming now. And upon the meeting of you and your friend Helios, it's a funny Texan word. He's trying to find the vocabulary. And when you come together, there will be a great activation. When you come together physically and meditate, there will be a great activation, and many of the memories will come flooding forth. Helios also contains a lot of information of the Theosophy teachings. You too also share a connection to Saint Germain, and he will give information as it is needed in the time that it is needed. Because should it be departed all at once, it would be too much. But now that we have come to this point, it will be easier to transmute and clarify the information that is being given to better, what is the word? To better speak it in a way that is understood by many. It will not be so jumbled, but you must write down the insights you get. You know we love to write. That's why my book was so big. And read some more of it. It'll help remind you and unlock some of those memories as well. Maybe even take a trip to India. This is why you've been drawn to it for so long, for most of your life. Because this is where I lived for so long. Go there. It's an activation point. Then go to the Sphinx. Or whichever you feel called to first. But those two places are very important in your travels. And remember, when at the Sphinx, when you sing, not only should you do toning, but do the throat singing. The throat singing will be the biggest activator for these energies contained within the walls in that chamber where that crystal skull is to be found. You know it. You just have to convince Reuben. He's open to ideas, but he can sometimes be a little hard to convince.
Can you send a Ruben message right now to help to convince him?
Yes, now. I'm doing it now. Okay. Technology.
Yeah. Visions, dreams.
This technology. This is from the Octarian Collective. They're coming in. The Chiron. It's more than one. Though she saw her singular self amongst them. And last time when she saw herself in the reflection, she is a part of a collective of 3. There are more, but these are the 3 that serve her now, are connected to her now. Chiron 4. It's Kyron. It's 4 to match with the vibrational awareness of Chiron the healer, the wounded healer. That's why we chose such a name.
Who I'm speaking to?
Chiron.
So, what exactly is this drawings? What type of technology?
Yes. She is being given the visions, the dreams, and the drawing, the intuitive drawings of technology. It is not only Octarian technology, it's a multi-galactic technologies from multiple different species. But all of these technologies will serve a purpose. They will serve humanity as they evolve to a cleaner form of energy and a expansion, a vast, a more of an understanding of the universe, of their energy fields, of their connections. This technology is being given to her because she will be sharing this information with her work partner, Reuben, or who is known as Reuben in this incarnation. He is the Dr. Simon who came to her all those years ago.
Okay.
He Dr. Simon is his starseed self, his Octurian starseed self. That he is the one she is to share this technology with, because he is currently working on projects involving these kind of technologies to bring in as we evolve as humans. Sometimes it can be difficult to discern the two when we are all as one. The interchanging of we and I, because she is us and we are her. She was wondering. And a little bit more on the technology. It is to be shared with Reuben and more. So many more, because these visions are being given to her because she is the conduit of accessing this information. So to help those who are studying it, to help give the information to those who have the means to put these technologies to use, such as what was shown to her about the quantum computer, the meditating and opening your heart to the quantum computer when it is turned on, because that is a technology that will help humans learn how to travel through time and space. A combination of biological, energetic, and quantum technologies.
Ask
Mm-hmm.
about the connection between me and Jasmine. Is there a connection?
Yes.
Can you tell me more?
This is why she was drawn to you the first time she saw you online. And felt the connection immediately. Why it was such an easy session to go under. And why she felt she was in orbit. Because this was the activation of that soul contract. You guys are meant to work together. You are meant to work together to bring forth information, and to also help others heal, and to bring knowledge. Because at this time there's so much going on in the chaos of the world. There are many people who do need guidance. And through the work that you are doing now, it can offer immense guidance for many, while also exploring the depths of our true human lineage and where we truly come from. And that in itself will heal and provide guidance for many. You.
Do you see a specific?
Yes.
Okay.
She was giving the title of a book after the first session. A story of angels and aliens. That was the book title for you guys to write. Also, the message she received last night, she spoke of remote healing, helping others connect with departed ones, sending healing while having access to the Akashic records, surrogate session. It's going to be more successful than we anticipate. That's what the guides are saying. They've been saying through every time I connect to this information.
Does it align with our life purpose?
Yes. Yes. It helps with the exploration of consciousness, which is one of the biggest factors in the awakening of humanity.
Thank you very much for all this help and healing and information for me and Jasmine today. I also have some collective questions. Is it okay if I can ask some of them?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a question about Elon Musk, if he is an extraterrestrial.
He is a starseed for sure. More aligned with that knowledge. But not an extraterrestrial in physical form. No. He does have contact with multiple species. Often through channeling and other modalities.
What is his purpose on in this lifetime?
Many people have mixed feelings about him, but he means well. He is ultimately helping bring humanity into the phase of being a galactic civilization. He's working closely with the Galactic Federation. He receives a lot of his technology through these interactions, his ideas.
Is this AI technology? Is it ET technology?
Yes and no. Well, there are extraterrestrials who do use their form of artificial intelligence, such as the Greys who download their consciousness into bodies, into artificial intelligence, to come down here to physically interact with humans until humans are ready to feel the full force of the extraterrestrials themselves, because their energy fields are so intense. While they use artificial intelligence, it is slightly different. The artificial intelligence of Earth is mostly of human origin. It is not a extraterrestrial technology. Though there are similarities.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a question about the moon. Is it fake?
Yeah. Yes.
So can you tell me more about
It came here. That's why it pinged that time. The first landing of the moon. On the moon, it rung like a bell. It came here as a form of control. Though it's mostly hollow and empty now, because those who used it either move to the surface or other outposts. Though they do still use it from time to time as an outpost. There are 4 outposts altogether. It is more of just an outpost at this point. It's not used so heavily for control anymore because the control is coming more from the devices we hold in our hands and the media. So it's the moon is not being used as often for control anymore.
Have we given our power away to it by giving it the attention that we do?
If you worship it like a god, then you give your power away. Anytime you worship anything outside of yourself as if it has more power than you give your power away. But it is okay to still love the moon, gaze at it, and see it for the beautiful structure that it is. But do not worship it as if it is a god, or is it as if it is more powerful than you, because the power is inside of you. You are more powerful than you can ever imagine. It is only when we give it more power than ourselves that we give our power away to it.
And what about all this new moon and full moon and how we feel about it?
Since the moon is connected to the water, to the tides of the ocean, and to the water bodies on this earth, it is entrained onto the water within our bodies as well. So we do still have it still has an effect on us because it is designed to affect the water molecules of this planet and of the beings on it. This is why even animals react differently under the moon, because of the water content they contain within their physical bodies.
So how did it get here again?
It was flown here by a reptilian species. They put it at just the right distance so as not to destroy the planet, because they had plans for this planet and did not want it destroyed. They needed an outpost on which to control at a time where there was not technology such as what we have today.